In 18 years of playing Counter-Strike at the highest level, Karrigan had seen a lot of things. He reinvented himself as a player. He'd been benched so often, his team's early successes and inevitable drop-offs became a meme. His genius made him a champion.
2 frags away! 1 more!
Karrigan had seen a lot, but he'd never seen anyone quite like Donk.
Dispatches of him, and look at Donk do it! That's disgusting!
From the outside looking in, it seemed like maybe FaZe had peaked, or maybe that Donk and Spirit really were unstoppable.
Could be quick. Look at Zontix, he's already out squeaky, they're just running at them! Jab, they've run them down, Rosen and Karrigan watching.
But Karrigan's master plan to defeat the young superstar was simple. Make Spirit take the bait, and then outplay them.
Creeping Brokey now. Where's a fast gets across? Oh no! Oh no! On the whole, it was a wide diffuse, and he's gonna get the first! He's gonna get them both! Less Magic's one more bullet, he extends!
Well, speaking about if Karrigan wins this, it's going to look like a genius in the veto. What about the opposite?
5 seconds to kill it!
Hey guys, so quick reminder before we get into the video that we have merch. Check out the full esports collection at shop.thescore.com. Think there are a couple of W key enjoyers out there who could use a new shirt. When Team Spirit charged their way through the bracket at IEM Katowice, it seemed like FaZe Clan were the only team that could deliver the reality check the upstarts needed. Instead, Spirit absolutely swept FaZe aside.
Team Spirit take to Katowice with one goal and objective, doubted every step of the way.
Spirit's strategy relied on Donk, a 17-year-old rifle prodigy whose dominance in aim duels and eagerness to swing made him an apex predator in his first big tournament in Counter-Strike 2.
He's just got that young, new generation aim, and he's got that kind of almost naive confidence because he's so young, in his head he's just like all of these old people suck, that's how in his mind he's probably categorized it. He's like, these old guys can't shoot like me.
Meanwhile, FaZe were going through a major adjustment. Their superstar rifler, Twists, left FaZe at the end of 2023 to return to Team Liquid, a long expected departure that nonetheless rattled the roster. His replacement, Frozen, was the very last member of the 2019 era Mouse roster still playing for the organization before FaZe acquired him. And in the years since, he solidified himself as a top 20 player who put up the numbers, even as the situation in Mouse became more and more unstable.
Frozen's just got a smirk. Look at this round in support coming up the ramp. Everyone's falling, everyone's going down. He remains calm and collected.
But 2 other familiar names on that 2019 Mouse roster were ropz and Karrigan. So even though it had been 4 years since the 3 last played together, it seemed like Frozen could fit in quickly without a ton of practice. But of course, fitting into a new environment is never quite that easy.
I understand that there are clashes in roles right now, that it doesn't make as much sense as it used to. Frozen kind of changed his game to be like ropz in the absence of ropz. Now they're in the same team, and I think there may be some clashes there. Twist was always this kind of, especially on T side, he'd be the guy to find the impact and the swing and be able to be that kind of third star in impact rounds and being able to post them. They're currently missing that.
And given the results of Katowice, FaZe needed a new approach for their inevitable rematch against Spirit. CS2's first major was fast approaching, and if both teams went deep, they were highly likely to face off. Now, both teams cruised through their RMRs with a 3-1 record. But FaZe's fortunes changed in the Major's elimination stage. Team Spirit beat Cloud9, Imperial, and Na'Vi to qualify for the playoff stage. FaZe, on the other hand, was far shakier. They lost their first best of 1 to Heroic on Ancient, and immediately the question started about which version of FaZe fans would see at this tournament.
Charging at him, Kixon. He could end it here. It's ropz in the clutch, but ropz is what a sharpshooter, and Kixon takes it. That's gotta feel good.
Their next opponents, Furia, were an easier win. But then FaZe got absolutely blown out by Turkish roster Eternal Fire on Overpass.
Eternal Fire have absolutely wrecked FaZe. There's nothing left to do here. The Turkish incinerator that is Eternal Fire crushing FaZe.
FaZe would have to win their next 2 matches, both best of 3s, if they wanted to make it to playoffs. Imperial were next, and FaZe handled them with wins on Nuke and Mirage.
Could catch the bomb. And here we go, Karrigan, can he close things out? He absolutely can. A captain's performance to seal the deal.
And finally, maybe sensing a weakness in FaZe's recent performances on that map, Complexity picked Overpass when the 2 teams faced off for the right to go to playoffs. But Karrigan rallied the troops.
Honestly, I don't care if you have a bad or good game, but we need to communicate at the highest point everyone can. Because if you communicate really good and have a bad individual game, you can help your teammates to win this game. We're the best team in the world. We're the best role in every single situation. Now I just need to go and show it. And I want to see energy and passion in your eyes the whole time. Doesn't matter if down 8-0. We need to find that way to win.
The last one left alone on the site and goes down. Rings out another AK shot, echoes across the map, but there's no one to hear it. Complexity are dead and FaZe will survive.
The win finally put FaZe into the playoff stage. But more importantly, it secured them their rematch against Spirit.
They are always better, but me personally, I think that without twists, I don't know, there's something off with FaZe right now. We've seen them have close top 16s and then strong playoff showings, but they got completely flattened by Eternal Fire. And it's one thing if FaZe are playing close games, losing out, laughing it off, and then getting into their form. It's another thing if they're getting absolutely whooped. And I think that right now might be too much for them to overcome, Spirit specifically.
In a vlog, Karrigan talked about the team's preparation beforehand, namely that they would not ban Vertigo against Spirit.
Practice went good. I think the last day was kind of rough, just because you want to play now. The major has already started, but we are floating Vertigo the whole way, and by doing that we can control the veto to what maps we want to play.
Spirit didn't seem to be that organized on Vertigo. In the weeks leading up to the major, both Metasport and Mouse beat Spirit on Vertigo. The problem was that FaZe had been banning Vertigo for quite some time. They hadn't played it since November of 2023. Karrigan knew that Spirit would likely want to play Mirage, since it fit Donk's aggression well, and they tended to win there. On their end, FaZe picked Nuke, leaving Spirit to choose between letting Ancient or Vertigo through for their map 3 pick, and they chose Vertigo. Karrigan's trap was sprung. Now he would need to see whether it could truly pierce Spirit's scales.
Katowice sent the signal to the entire scene. Spirit's here, they're as strong as we thought. Now let's see them take the crown away.
And he's shown me time and time again, he's shown all of us time and time again throughout the past 10 years that when he's motivated, he is arguably one of the best in-game leaders in the world. Whereas for FaZe, we were wondering whether or not they were even going to make the playoff. Karrigan was in a position where he was 1 loss away from not getting to play in front of this crowd.
The question of FaZe making playoffs now gave way to a far more interesting one. Could FaZe Clan figure out Spirit's magic? Could they get their revenge?
When you talk about Karrigan, just the calling that he can bust out in pressure situations, the way he kind of can call on the fly and he can work magic in these scenarios on these stages. I don't think Karrigan needs any kind of motivational speech. I don't think he needs a big speech for this team. Let's remember, they got embarrassed in Katowice. I think there is that kind of shock factor back in Poland. I think there was that like, oh my God, how do we actually kill Donk? How is he doing this? How do we stop this team when you have a player at this caliber? I think players can adapt. I think today's professional players are going to find tricks, going to find details they can exploit. We saw Na'Vi do it. Why can't Karrigan? Why can't FaZe?
The early part of Mirage certainly seemed like FaZe had figured out Donk, and Karrigan's home crowd was loving it.
If he's actually going to push on that, ooh, he's what? Rain out dueling the Donk.
FaZe's strategy was designed to confuse Spirit and keep them off balance. Running a double op setup on CT, for instance, forced Spirit into burning 2 of their precious timeouts.
Well, note that the AWP that Rops picked up has not gone back into the hands of Karrigan. They are trying to keep this CT side unpredictable.
But Donk roared back into the game in the next few rounds.
By the rest of the team.
Yeah, and look, when they took the timeout, the second timeout, Donk only had 3 kills. Now he's up to 8.
2 FaZe players had critical roles in the dying seconds of the first map, Karrigan and Rosen.
Say your takeaways, Chad. FaZe's CT side and this constant dynamicism we haven't always seen. It's that big stage buff, perhaps.
I like how fluid they kept it. They were constantly changing things up.
Now it's a 3v3, but Magic's, his positioning, time after time, is rewarded. Not this time. Nate, shy of the mark, jumping out, could isolate these jewels. Kenshiro has an... Oh! Not far off Rosen.
And then, after a stumble, FaZe got to match point on a ridiculous half-buy with all 5 players alive.
The precision is there. Shiro missing his orb shot. Is it really? 5 alive from FaZe Clan. It is! 5 alive and giggling, laughing on the quarterfinal stage.
That's one way to secure 12, and Karrigan likes the way that one feels.
Suddenly, it wasn't even clear there would be a map 3.
He's going to get it down just in time, covered by Brokey, and what a long-range burst. It's Brokey to close it out. FaZe Clan with a statement.
But FaZe fell behind early on T-side nuke. And then Spirit did something interesting. They took a timeout. Ultimately, Spirit went 8-4 on the CT side and essentially forced FaZe to make a statement on CT.
Held by Chopper. Is he ready for this? He just looked away. Oh God, he's completely ruined their plans. The util dead on Chopper's cold corpse. Dropping into the vent, Rops was ready to receive. Brokey and Rain have found the headshots. It's only Shiro. A perfect FaZe Clan pistol. Someone's done their homework. This is crazy. The whole team's down here. Shiro's going to clear you out, Rosen. You've nailed that. Is there anything more? Rosen, unbelievable triple.
To counter, Spirit took a timeout and rallied. They put themselves on match point with a 12-9 scoreline.
Team Spirit are 1 away from forcing Vertigo.
It feels like that conversation can finally begin. It's been quite touch and go.
But FaZe refused to go away. They won another hero force buy and tried some more double ops. And that was enough to push things to overtime.
Puts himself to the top of the board. And FaZe extends play map 2.
But after Spirit took the first round, they called another timeout and then rushed A.
Yeah.
So layers on layers from Spirit.
5 AK-47s in the mix. Could be quick. Look at Zontix. He's already out squeaky. They're just running at them. Chad, they've run them down. Rosen and Karrigan watching.
Rops went hero mode for FaZe, keeping them alive in the first OT.
Once more, once blood, bait shot, good find, Magix. He's heating up, time sensitive. Karrigan has secured it for FaZe. Rain will secure it as well. Nothing here for Shiro. We need another.
It had been a long game, and Spirit kept hammering FaZe. Frozen tried to keep his team in it, but it wasn't enough.
Brokey, Frozen, everyone's here. Good start from Donk. It's Frozen with the double. Frozen with the triple. He extends play at Dink as well. Was that all for naught? 3.5 frags from Frozen, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We go to Vertigo.
Everything would be decided on Vertigo. The final stage of Karrigan's master plan was about to unfold. Vertigo started off looking great for FaZe. Karrigan got off to a very hot start with the clutch and the pistol, and FaZe just piled on the rounds from there. Spirit took their first timeout at 0-3 and their second timeout at 0-5.
Retake is on. Is there a round to be had here from Team Spirit? They're wondering, where on earth is the resistance? Where are the sound cues? There's no one here, silently creeping. Brokey now, where's a fast, gets across! Oh no, oh no!
But while Spirit eventually drew blood, the score continued to go up in FaZe's favor. By round 15, it was 11-4 for FaZe, and Spirit had no choice but to force.
And you picked it. You kind of feel like you've kind of died on your own, fallen on your own sword here a little bit.
And this 30 seconds from Hallie would have to be some of the most inspired stuff he's probably ever said to this iteration of the Spirit team. Well, Alex, they're going all in. They are going all in. They're not willing to give over 12 to FaZe with a discrepancy like this. They have gone for the force buy.
As Spirit tried to climb out of the hole, Rops once again showed up to kick them back down.
On the hole, it was a wide diffuse, and he's going to get the first! He's going to get them both!
One round away, FaZe didn't need much to get it done. But suddenly, Spirit came back swinging.
6 bullets. 6 bullets is all he needs! This could be Spirit eliminated! Unless Magic's one more bullet he extends! They got 12, but seems like so did Team Spirit. We need more! Overtime secure.
Well, speaking about if Karrigan wins this, it's going to look like a genius in the veto. What about the opposite? This time, it's a completely different conversation. They were 12 to 5 down.
Spirit soared back up and pushed FaZe to OT. It looked like Karrigan's plan was falling apart, but FaZe weren't finished. Not yet.
He's just gonna hold it! Shiro!
Oh.
Channel, look at this, Chopper uses it. Charges forward, it doesn't matter though, if everyone hits the shots, FaZe! Oh, running him down was Donk with only the double. Oh no, I mean, pick up the bomb, they're gonna surely double peek you. You've got to plant, you've got to plant. Oh, not like that. 15 secure. And it's Zontix with it all to do. A smoke and a kit, Chad.
Oh dear.
A smoke and a kit. Zontix, can you hold your nerve? He's been having a tough time, and he still holds his nerve. We see another round of play. Oh, turn around. Oh, Zontix! It's massive. 9 seconds though. It can still go wrong. Zontix down. 5 seconds. Hero dead!
Karrigan's gambit worked.
Karrigan letting Vertigo slip through the trap card. Team Spirit reveal it, and the mad genius in front of the home crowd, the first major in Denmark.
After defeating the tournament favorites, FaZe went on to beat Team Vitality, but ultimately fell to Na'Vi in the grand final. But what's crazy about this Spirit series isn't just who won. Reflecting on the series, Karrigan said he'd never played anything like it before.
Really destroyed. I think it's the most insane quarterfinal I ever played. We watched the game last night. Well, what a game.
Figuring out Spirit's weakness was something that many teams were trying to do. And even though FaZe took the win this time, it'd be a stretch to say that this series proved that they've been completely solved.
Overall, I think this game was a high-quality game. Spirit played well. This lobby rush they do in overtime, a big call by them. The A rush, like, they had good reads, they call good, they play good. I just think it was a game of titans in that sense. Like, you could really see and feel the game was number 1 versus number 2, right?
Fans got to witness one of the most exciting competitive series ever. An intense back and forth in no man's land that pit the 2 best teams in the world against each other. A chaotic brawl that set experience against youth. In other words, an instant classic.
I think I was a little worried before the game once I knew it's gonna, like, there's a chance of Vertigo coming in. But I think if there is one team with a big pairs of balls, then I think it's FaZe.
And I think that the level of game we showed here, in my opinion, that's a grand final level from both teams. More than just a game. This was personal, this was back and forth, and in some way you can say this is to make sure the Spirit is not number 1 in the world, and we're still in contention to be number 1.
They committed so hard to the bit. They recreated using some like digital map Vertigo with just Sauron's eye on top. Yeah, it's actually really fucking cute.